there's a part of my life that I haven't really shared much about on this channel that has, in a lot of ways, quite literally changed my life. And without further ado, I'm just going to show you what that is. This is called Neurographica, and it has been in my life since 2020 or 2021. I think 2021. I stumbled upon it by accident. I hope you can hear me. And I think in some ways it probably found me rather than I found it. And before I kind of explain what it really is, because at the moment it probably just looks like a bunch of lines on paper, albeit maybe pretty, but it's a lot more than just a drawing. And I want to just show you this one particular drawing. I made it in, I think it was sometime around the middle of August 2022. And I was completing a class, a master class in Neurographica, and the topic of this drawing, there was a series of drawings actually on this topic, and this one was specifically about pushing the boundary of the financial glass ceiling. So for a long time I felt like I just could not make more money. There was a block and I didn't know what it was. I didn't even have any vocabulary to describe what it was. I just knew I couldn't make more money. And in general, I had a lot of tension around money. In fact, at that point, I had a job and it was back-breaking and soul-destroying. And I still really didn't live the life I wanted to live at all, financially speaking. And in this drawing, we were modeling the future. It's a kind of languaging we use in Neurographica. This is a kind of drawing that models the future events. And so at the bottom here, there's a line, a horizontal line, straight horizontal line, and along that line I have put certain dates. Well, in fact, I'm pretty sure, yeah, the dates I've put in first, and then I did the drawing. And it's arbitrary, it's not, there's no specific sequence of dates I had to follow. It was just intuitive, however long into the future do I want to model this drawing and model my future with it. And when I drew this, again, as I said, it was sometime in August 2022. I drew it, and I've made, I don't know, I actually don't know how many, maybe 60, maybe 100 drawings since. I haven't looked at it since, and I forgot about it. But because it's in my, one of my big books, my A3 size books, and one day I just looked through it. It was maybe within the last year I've looked through this book, and I found it. And I looked at the dates and I couldn't believe it. So let me tell you about it a little bit. So as I said, this drawing was about breaking the financial ceiling, breaking through the financial ceiling. And so these circles, these shapes, because there's also a trapezium in here. They represent different financial, basically different amounts of money, and some of it was kind of arbitrary, and some of it I have given a specific amount to, attributed a specific amount to. And this biggest circle is the one I want to talk about. That one was meant to be representing an amount of money made in a year, in a month, it doesn't matter, you had to define it yourself. Amount of money that to my brain makes like no sense. Like, I don't understand how you can make that much money a month or a year. Like like some people it might be like 20,000 a month, some people might be 100,000 a month, for some people it might be 1 million a month. There will be a number that will just not make logical sense to your brain when you think about it. It's like, how can I make that much money in a month? This number for me was £10,000 a month. It's about, I don't actually know, $12,000 maybe, US dollars, if you're American watching this. And this circle starts, like the edge of the circle, if I drop down a vertical line towards the horizontal, towards the timeline, to determine where it sort of starts. It's incredible because it's around September 2023. September 2023. Well, let me tell you what happened in September 2023. In fact, slightly before that. In June 2023, I certified as a Neurographica specialist, which means that I could take on clients and do this work with clients, private clients, as well as could create some master classes, etc. In the end of July, beginning of August 2023, I certified as a somatic practitioner, working again with people with trauma, with the nervous system. And for about at least a year before that, prior to that, at least a year, maybe two, I have been following this person online. Actually, not even following, it was I was signed up to their email list, and he's an amazing businessman. He has loads of businesses. He helped loads of businesses make a lot of money in a very different way, not a typical kind of way. So I really, without going much into what he does, I really liked what he does, his business, but the kind of clients he served. The reason I was only on his email list is because I could never be his client, because the kind of clients he served were Mel Robbins and people like that. His packages of his programs and courses were thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars, because that's the kind of level of clients he served. July 2023, he posts an email or releases an email saying that he created a new program. And in that program, he helps, it's a year-long program, and in that program he helps small businesses make their first $10,000 month. And it was affordable, and it was incredible, and it was a program he has never had before. It was brand new. And that program started on the 1st of September 2023, where my big circle starts, specifically, to be precise. And if you're wondering, I haven't yet made £10,000 a month or $10,000 a month. But what it made me realize is that what I was drawing here, was my potential and opportunities for manifesting what I want to manifest. Now, the reason I haven't manifested, because that was the promise of the program, that you will make $10,000 a month, at least 1 month in the next year, was because my nervous system was not ready for this. It was not ready. My brain was not ready, as much as I wanted it and I thought it would give me a sense of security. I was not ready for the amount of dysregulation that even thinking about doing the thing I had to do to make that amount of money would send me into freeze response, into flight response, into immobilization. I got severely depressed literally 2 months after this program started. I went into another depressive episode, and I was in it for pretty much the whole winter. And the whole time I was really trying to put my attention towards achieving this goal, because, you know, I paid money, it was affordable, but it was pretty much everything I had at the time, all my savings. And I really wanted to make it work, and I wanted that financial stability and security for myself, but I couldn't. And at one point, I think it was around May, June this year, I told myself that I need to stop, and I need to, in fact, where does this drawing end? It was probably around beginning of this 2025. Anyway, but yeah, I had to stop because I was going insane, to be honest. And I think I've met new blocks on my way to achieving this. When I found this, like, it really made me believe in Neurographica. And then I was obviously looking through my other drawings, remembering what other topics I was drawing about, what symbolisms I was putting into them. There's a whole mechanism in these drawings. There's algorithms that you follow. It's not just you need to know how to do this. It's not just doodling. But I remembered then drawing things like, and it's insane, I need to find them, because I was trying to find that specific drawing, but I remember multiple drawings that I made where I drew a van, like living in a van. I wanted to live in a van. Well, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm currently in a motorhome. So that came true. And at the time of drawing it, I had no concept of how the hell I'm going to achieve that. I also had drawn in one of my other drawings, many other drawings, I was drawing Airbnb as an income source. And in August and September this year, I, along with my partner, started an Airbnb business. But I also had no concept at the time of drawing of how on earth I can ever, like, I can't own property, like, I've got no savings, I've got no constant income, like, how am I going to get mortgage? Like, logically speaking, and yes, I needed my partner also to achieve that, but I know that if we weren't together, like, by himself, he wouldn't have achieved it either. So it came into my life through another person, and so many other things came into my life that I have drawn in there through other people. And that was another lesson, I guess, in manifestation, that the lesson that I've kind of known before, but it wasn't solidified, and it is that our job is to know what we want and trust that the way it will come into our life may not be up to us. It may not make logical sense to us. It may not be something that we foresee. But if we put enough energy into working towards it in one way or another, it will come. There's a saying in Neurographica that it's not about whether or not it works, because it works 100% of the time. It's more about how many drawings are you willing to make before it works. And nobody can know how long something will take to manifest. I had drawings that manifested themselves literally within a day. It was insane, and it's a little bit of a private topic, so I'm not going to disclose what that was, but I was blown away, and I straight away put it down to Neurographica because I knew that literally that same day or the day before I was drawing about that, and it happened straight away. And it was fantastic. There were so many things that I've drawn there that either came really close to coming true, and I know that if I had, because honestly, I know how much some people draw these drawings. I don't draw anywhere near enough, as I should. But even with the amount I've drawn, I know that that wasn't enough. And if I had drawn more things would have come to fruition. Now, on the surface, it might sound like what I'm saying is you just need to draw and things will come true. Well, as it is like obvious from this example here, I haven't got £10,000 yet. What it does, what Neurographica does, is it gets you out of your stuck, repetitive pattern of thinking and being. And there is science behind Neurographica. Again, as I said, it's not just doodling. There is, I'll post websites down below where you can read more about it. It is a modality that is based on principles of psychology and neurophysiology and philosophy and sociology. And it was created by a crazy scientist, artist from Russia. And I have learned directly from him how to draw this modality. I'm not going to go into details of how it works, but you essentially can think of it as rewiring your brain. And there is science behind it, as I said before, because the way you draw these lines, as you can see, there isn't a single, apart from the horizontal line, which is just a sketch of a timeline, there isn't a single straight line in this whole drawing. And not a single one of them, other ones, have a straight line, unless I'm drawing a shape, like a rectangle, a trapezium, a triangle. They obviously have straight lines, but even those get rounded in a particular way. This whole drawing is bionic, if you like. It's moving, it's living, it's like a living organism, like bacteria, like rivers on a map. When you engage in drawing this kind of pattern, I don't remember what it's called in English. I think it's you're engaging your small motorics, motor system, something like that. Like when you're drawing with a pen, when you're writing, this motion is connected to certain parts of your brain that when you are doing it and you're engaging in certain thinking processes that are involved in Neurographica, and you're experiencing emotional effects from drawing, which I'll talk about a little bit in just a second, all of that combined literally rewires your brain. If you think about brain rewiring in general, how can we rewire our brain? If we do something new, we create new neural pathways, right? Especially if we do it many times in a row, we really establish that neural pathway. Or if we create a significant emotional effect from something, create or experience strong emotions, right? That's how we also rewire our brain. Trauma is an example of that. In Neurographica, we involve both. We're drawing something new, And as we're drawing, we're experiencing a lot of emotions. And so it becomes a really powerful catalyst for change in our brains. When I talk about emotional effect in Neurographica, it's really weird, but in so many of these drawings, I would cry, I would get angry at the drawing, I would feel frustration, I would feel exhilaration, I'd feel profound joy and love and cry from happiness. And it's just a blooming drawing, you might think, but I have experienced such an array of emotions pretty much with every single drawing. Yeah, I don't think there was a drawing where I haven't experienced something in at least one part of the process. And it is what it's meant to do to you. Because as I said already multiple times, it's not just doodling, there's a lot of thinking put into this process. But one of the best ways in which this drawing modality, this coaching modality, in fact what it is a coaching modality, has changed my life is that since I have gained the skill of Neurographica, I have rarely ever felt profoundly stuck in my life, or powerless, or like I can't get out of a situation that makes me feel trapped. Because with every single drawing I made, I have had such amazing insights, such profound breakthroughs, that over and over, when you experience that over and over again, it's hard to make your brain think otherwise, that, you know, this isn't something that can be a catalyst for change whenever you need it. Part of the reason I wanted to make this video is to share this amazing tool, like inform people about this amazing tool. And another reason is that I haven't yet at the time of recording this, but I have at the time of posting this, I have made a workshop. I have recorded that and formatted it. And even though I haven't actually yet done it at the time of recording, I know that it will be a neurographic tree. It's a very powerful, I've got a few here, so I'm going to show you what it looks like so that you know what I'm talking about. This is one example. It's really amazing algorithm and an archetype to work with, a tree. It's something that pretty much every single person understands on one level or another. There's another one, little one, mini one. I wanted to create it because we are coming to an end of another year soon. And what you can do with the tree is really program into the next year your wishes and intentions and plans and desires and goals and aspirations, and really create a powerful catalyst for change for yourself. And I wanted to, partially because it's just not a very well-known modality in the English-speaking world, not even in the Russian-speaking world, it's not that well-known, but especially in English, if you ever find Neurographica online, it's usually just doodling and it's not Neurographica at all. So I wanted to start offering this to people because, as I said already multiple times, this has been so life-changing for me. You can draw literally any topic. It can be a niche thing, it can be a bigger, thing like a topic of relationships or a specific maybe health condition that you have, or it can literally be anything at all that you can bring to the table quite literally, to the table, to the paper, and process and rewire. And I want to start bringing this forward to people, into the world. So yeah, this masterclass, at the time of, if you're watching this, basically it's available, and I will link this down below. I am thinking of also adding a special offer to this workshop, so that will also be linked down below, and will be, yeah, all the information will be in the description of this video. Maybe, yeah, I will just show you a few more drawings before I finish off this video. And I really hope to see you at the workshop. Let's see. Gosh, some of these I literally made on scraps of paper. Like, I don't know if you can tell, but like it's I think it was literally, I literally ripped it out of like a diary. This piece of paper, look, it's a piece of diary paper, and then I just drew over it, and then like little scraps. It's incredible. I have so many. It's crazy, and some of them carry so much meaning, and you write a lot as well as you draw. And you annotate and analyze and sit with a lot that comes up in the process, for sure. See, this one is pretty as well. You don't need to be an artist to do this. In fact, it somewhat helps not to be, because when you have an artistic vision, you are going to want to make this drawing a certain way. You will have a vision for like what's pretty and what's not pretty. And the amazing thing about Neurographica, or maybe not amazing, but the thing about Neurographica, is that you have to give up any idea of what's pretty, and we go all in on the feeling. You have to let your logical mind go, essentially, and allow your hand to guide you in the process. Sorry, they've got so many notes with annotations and they're all falling out, and I have no idea now where it came from. Never mind. Oh god, there's more in the back as well. You let go entirely, at least at the start, for the majority of the drawing. You let go of what you think you're creating, and you have to go with your hand. And even that in itself is such a great practice with so many people that struggle with control issues. So even for that, if you identify as someone who struggles with letting go of control, I highly recommend, even just for that sole purpose, I recommend you go through that workshop and you try it out. One funny thing actually about this initial drawing I showed you, I'm going to go back to it for a second. Where is it? Here. Can you see in here there is this trapezium. The camera needs to focus on the drawing. There's this trapezium here. Well, I didn't realize, but that represented my work at the time. And as I said, it was back-breaking and soul-destroying, and it's really funny that amongst all these circles, this one is the only angular shape with sharp corners. And this shape ends on the 31st of January 2023. But I did quit that job. It was slightly before that, it was 23rd or something of December. So about a month before that, I actually quit. At the time of drawing this, I had no intention of quitting yet. I didn't really want to at the time, even though I kind of wanted to. But anyway, I didn't know that I'll be quitting. So that's another thing that manifested. But what I was going to show you is that in another drawing, unintentionally, I drew the same shape and I annotated it. Can you see it? It's also, oh, where is it? Here, this one. It goes like this. Trapezium again. And it says my job in the shop. That's where I worked at the time. And I wasn't trying to make it the same shape. My brain just for some reason associated my job with the trapezium shape, and it put it into two different drawings as a trapezium, which is incredible. Things like that happen in Neurographica all the time, and this is just a tiny example. I hope this has inspired you a little bit if you are feeling a little bit depressed as the winter is closing in. If you're feeling hopeless, if you're feeling stuck, I really encourage you to go through this workshop. It will give you a sense of hope, a sense of power, a sense that you can change things. I'm going to leave it at that, I think. If you have any questions at all, please leave them in the comments below. If you're interested to learn more about Neurographica, or if you want me to share more stories like these from my drawings, then let me know that as well. I'll make more videos around that. Otherwise, I will see you in the next one.